We begin our broadcast in Sierra Leone, where vote counting is still underway after citizens of the West African nation cast their ballots in a presidential runoff. On Saturday, local media reported a few cases of political intimidation and minor issues with transportation. Voters also appear to turn out in lower numbers than in the first round on March the 7th. In coming days, citizens will either have Julius Maada or Samura Kamara as their president. The vote will pave the way for the second peaceful transfer of power since the Civil War. Election observers have so far been impressed by the election process.
Well, thus far, what we have observed ourselves is a very professionally done counting. Polling officials, very professional, very efficient, very good communication with party agents. The counting was open and transparent, and we are just impressed from what we have seen at this polling station, and we are hoping that this will be a pattern across the country.
Most polling centers opened on time, but with far shorter queues than expected. Voters were choosing between two candidates after the first round of vote failed to produce an outright winner. Both candidates have already expressed confidence of a win.
I'm very confident that our preparations are on track.
Results are going to show that I am in the lead, as I've always done. I am leading and I'm going to continue to lead.
The runoff vote was originally scheduled for March 27th, but was delayed by 4 days after the ruling party filed a complaint of fraud against the Electoral Commission. This time, though, the Electoral Commission says it is well equipped.
The voting process has been smooth for the most part, but in some areas like this one, tension is high, and so is the security deployment.
Authorities say the heavy police and military presence is necessary to secure the vote. Among the 3.1 million eligible voters is Mary Kaloko, an Ebola survivor. She contracted the disease while taking care of her boyfriend, who eventually succumbed. She hopes the vote will be peaceful.
We are hoping that the new government will come to take good care of us, looking after us, because a lot of promise say they will take care of us, give us good treatment, food. Maybe most of the people died because they don't have people to take care of them.
Results are expected in the next few days, though the Electoral Commission has a week to give final results. In the meantime, though, the Commission is appealing for patience. Susan Mongeli, CGTN, in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
And CGTN Susan Mongeli is in Sierra Leone, and she is joining me now live with the latest details from the capital, Freetown. Susan, we do understand that there's been a lower voter turnout in the runoff. So how is the tallying process so far, and has any front runner emerged?
Well, yes, indeed, the voter turnout has been low, and the National Electoral Commission last evening released a statement really giving an update about the whole day and the voting process, and they did say that the voter turnout was low, but it is yet to give the official numbers of the people turned up to vote yesterday. Now, the tallying process is ongoing. We are still getting results from the polling centers in the constituency level. Now, there is an organization called the IRN, the Independent Radio Network, which has access to this information. It has been giving provisional results, but all this again has to be relayed to the National Electoral Commission, which eventually will give the official results. But right now, it's really no front runner yet, because the results have been coming from the various polling centers, and it all depends. If it is a stronghold of the opposition, then Maada is in the lead, and if it is a stronghold of the APC, then it is Samura Kamara. So for now, it is quite difficult, but we are expecting a press conference at midday local time, where the National Electoral Commission will be telling us, will be giving us an update again on the vote counting process. Now, a number of issues have come out. The police yesterday say that they made a number of arrests. 3 vehicles were intercepted carrying ballot papers, which they say belonged to the SLPP. Of course, the SLPP has denied this, but police say they are carrying out investigations on that. Now, another thing that happened last evening in a place called Kano, police raided that area, saying that there is a center, that the SLPP has an independent tallying center there, and so they raided the place just to ensure that nothing would happen there. But the SLPP, of course, has condemned this. There was a bit of skirmishes, but the situation now is under control. But basically, tensions remain high as people await the vote counting process to be completed.
Well, Susan, so you have mentioned the few incidences, or the two incidences that are really politically related to the election itself. But this is going to be the second peaceful transfer of power since the civil war. So what security measures are being put in place, and is there indication there could be trouble if the results are disputed?
Well, as we have been reported since yesterday, the security presence here has been huge. We had police and both the military patrolling various parts of the country. And yesterday, when polling stations closed, the city was almost on lockdown because security checks were mounted all over, and it's only accredited vehicles that were allowed to pass through. Even our crew, as we were trying to really drive around just to get a feel of the city, we had to undergo serious checks. Our vehicles were checked, and just basically that's how the security situation is. But this, the authorities say, is necessary to ensure that the process is secure. But again, the opposition has said that this is one way the government is using the police to intimidate people, to intimidate the voters. And they say that should the election or the election results be disputed, then we do expect a bit of problems, especially with the opposition, who say that they will not accept any results that do not put their leader, Julius Maada, in the lead. So we are bracing for some tense times ahead.
All right, Susan Mwongeli joining us there live from Freetown in Sierra Leone.